Hey guys and gals, Paul Berry, Family Gaming. Quarters in session. This is an FFG Politics on my 4th grade story. So, I didn't know much about this when I was younger. And when I got older, I realized the abuse that happens in the public education system. So much so, my parents actually homeschooled my brother because they were sick and tired of the radical, extreme, far leftists trying to brainwash everyone into their viewpoint. So when I was in 4th grade, we were given an assignment by the teacher. We were told if we did not finish this assignment, we would not move on to the 5th grade. By the way, I was a straight A student. So I'm being threatened that I'm going to have to stay in the 4th grade if I don't do this assignment. You might be like, oh, what's the assignment? What kind of crazy thing do they have you do? We had to write a letter to a senator or state representative, representative in Washington, D.C. And we were given topics, specific topics. We could only send a letter on these topics. The teacher had to read the letter, and the teacher sent the letter. Okay, you got this? So we are now being forced into political activism for the extreme radical far left. So it was topics like the rainforest. It was topics like global warming. It was topics like elder abuse and not enough Social Security. You notice how all these topics are on the political left? There was nothing about, hey, let's shrink government. Let's look into abuse of government powers. There was nothing conservative at all. It was all on the left, completely. And so I wrote this letter. I don't remember, what all I said in it, but I wrote whatever I was told I had to write. I think I picked and think about this. What exactly is the United States of America going to do about the deforestation of the Amazon? It's not in our country. Really? Yeah. And like I said, I thought of this years later. I was like, wait a minute, this was so stupid. So I wrote up the letter, turned in the assignment. It got approved. I was allowed to go to the 5th grade because I was abused by the school system and forced to do something against my will, by the way. My parents were livid. They were very angry about this assignment, about what we were told. They went and complained to the principal about it. Not that anything happened. The radical far leftists, stick together. The liberal lemmings don't care about anyone but themselves. And then it was kind of funny. So in the 5th grade, I can't remember how far along, but I got a letter from that senator I sent a letter to, and he was explaining that that was in another country outside of his jurisdiction. By the way, I think the senator they had me mail a letter to, I think they only targeted Republican senators, and I don't think he was even my senator. I think he was in another state or something. It's just like, why? They cherry picked who they bothered and wasted. Think about this. This is waste of government resources on multiple fronts. You're wasting it at the school. You're wasting it with the representatives and senators, and then the response, more waste of time and money, because he thinks this is a legitimate letter from someone. It wasn't. It was a kid who was forced to do something by abusive teachers in the school system, and it's like, I even tried to go to media people and talk about this. They weren't interested. Oh, this is not a story. Of course not, because it's abuse by liberals. They don't care, not at all, not one bit. So I thought, you know what? I should do a video, and so that's what I'm doing right here, right now. Talking about this, throwing this topic out there, letting you all digest it and be like, how horrible. That was in Washington State, and in Washington State it's gotten even worse. All right, so that's my thoughts on that topic. Court adjourned.